Good afternoon to all the participants. I, CA Anshuman Jajodia, on behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee ICAI, welcome all the participants to today's webcast on Creating Value Through Effective Negotiation, a leadership skill set for today's chartered accountant. I welcome our today's resource person, CA Maninder Kaur ma'am, and others present over here. Let me introduce our speaker to before all of you. CA Maninder Kaur is a seasoned chartered accountant with over 18 years of experience in accounting, auditing, and financial advisory. She is a renowned speaker and trainer, having delivered 700 plus workshops across North India on communication, motivation, and professional skills. She currently serves as a curator and facilitator of MMK Women Achiever Talks, advisory board member at MentorX, and managing partner at MKA Associates, where she leads statutory, tax, internal, and forensic audit engagements. She is also a technical reviewer with ICAI's Research Committee and TAQRB. A merit holder from Hansraj College, she is a fellow chartered accountant with multiple certifications, including DISA, concurrent audit, forensic and fraud detection, and peer review. She has been honored with several prestigious national and international awards for her impactful contributions. Her vision is to empower and mentor millennials and women professionals to become confident, ethical, and future ready leaders. We welcome you, ma'am, and I hand over the mic to you for further deliberation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful introduction of mine. Good afternoon, everyone. It's again a big privilege of mine to welcome you all to this afternoon online session on creating value through effective negotiation, a leadership skill set for today's chartered accountant. Thank you, Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, to provide me with this opportunity. I sincerely appreciate your valuable time and presence, which reflects our commitment to continue our professional learning and excellence. Today, in this session, it has been designed to provide some meaningful insights into the negotiation as a critical professional skill. The entire session in this session, probably, as we know, it's a webinar. So I will try to cover how to leverage the financial expertise to drive negotiations value, also to structure the negotiation framework and to apply the firmness with relationship intelligence to communicate with clarity, confidence, and purpose. These four things are the very important thing which we'll be covering. Apart, yes, we all know negotiation. The moment we say negotiation, negotiation is not only an art or a skill that requires our technical or financial competency, but also requires our judgment, our integrity, and it showcases our effective communication skill in a dynamic regulatory and business environment. Ability to negotiate with clarity, confidence, and ethical discipline has become indispensable. We cannot even think of like be it any deals or any communication. We have to have that. This skill is indispensable these days, and I hope this session will be engaging, interactive, and practically relevant because it will help and enable us to draw useful perspective that can be applied to our professional assignments. Again, I to start, I would like to welcome everyone, each one of you all here, and looking forward for this productive and enriching discussion. So let's just start. To start, very basic word: negotiation. Negotiation always happens when two or more parties talk to conclude or conclude a deal that works for both way, that works for everyone. It involves discussions, it involves convincing, it involves planning and balancing at each side. In the world of finance, professionals like us, chartered accountant, negotiation skills are important for a professional like us to make investment deals, be it setting up contracts with suppliers or negotiating payments. And it's not that negotiation is one thing which is starting now. It has been since there in way back. Uh, and we know that it has been there, be it old societies used to haggle over trade, making political deals or sorting of fights. As and when time went, the ways of people to negotiate has changed, and because of the shift in culture, money and society, and as we all know, the society has evolved and export have started to negotiate more. We all have come up with more ideas and how money works and how we should talk to each other. And we all will agree to this that in India, negotiation has its roots in the old books like Arthashastra, you know? So it has been there. It is not that we will be it's a new start. Again, we all the old ideas still shape and how people negotiate in India. Indian financial finance today is what is very relevant these days, and why. And we'll try to cover a very important thing, why negotiation is very important when it comes to financial matters. We all know, on the moment we say about finance, we are financials, right? We are financial professionals. So getting the best deals, negotiation is one of the best way to bargain, to enhance the bargain power, and to obtain the best contract clauses, increase the value, or if let's say reduce the cost. In finances also, we as the name suggests, it is managing money. It could be in the form of generating more profit from your investment portfolio, or receiving a loan, or receiving any deal which is on the better rate, or better interest rate, or buying something or selling to suppliers at a favorable rate. So again, these financial matters are very important, and if you have a good skill, and if you have a good strong vision, strong way of communicating, in a strong way of putting out your work in the deal of negotiation, you are in a better position to get the best deal out of it. Again, the second very important thing in in today's complex business landscape, we all know, creating strong connections. Uh, Good negotiation build trust, as it necessitates open communication between people. Strong connections matter, and long lasting partnerships happen, and it makes us build teamwork happens here. So again, to have a professional best deal making, it is a capability. It is rather a strategic capability that defines organizational success. So financial leaders who excel in negotiations create value far beyond the balance sheet, not just the numbers, but also in financial terms. So, a financial negotiation can also, yes, again, there can be a when you are into a financial deal or a meeting or a communication sector, there are possibility of having arguments or disagreements, to say. If you have a good skill of handling good negotiation, there is a great possibility of you handling the arguments, disagreements, disharmony, or discord in a better manner. So, learning the good way of negotiation is so imperative these days. Again, we all will agree that the moment we say negotiations, we know it helps us to grow our career also. Like for people dealing in financial transactions, uh, if they are good in negotiations, if they are good at making the deals right, it's very they can move their jobs upward, whether it is about getting a good pay or a better job or promotions. Negotiation can help you to grow in your career. So this is, as a financial leader, we cannot ignore. This is something we all will agree and understand, that the moment we talk about financial decisions, uh, everything depends, everything is so linked. So shaping some kind of strategic decisions and cultivating partnership, or becoming or trying to come out with some kind of competitive advantage, strategical advantage over on this end. Negotiation is something which matters for financial leaders, and it is, again, as I said, it is imperative, and it has a long impact. Now we'll try to see, um, all I've been saying, why a negotiation, what exactly negotiation is, and why it is important, what all it can bring to the table. Uh, in a complex landscape like business landscape, we all have to understand that if we have a vision of maximizing long term organizational value, we have to have a strong sense of communication, again, in a better way of negotiation. So we have to have a framework. Now we'll try to structure it and say that what all should be there to have a great negotiation. We all know the now I'll as you can see this PPT, as you can see the screen, there is a slide showing applying the structured negotiation framework, 5 P's for negotiation excellence. These are kind of technique or tactics for a for efficient negotiation, to have a uh, great edge. The moment you are discussing, there has to be the you should be able to apply this for very first one, because no, you normally see, and you must have been hearing this, that people, the moment you are into services, getting any assignments, people say that, oh, you are, no, you are, your offer price is very high, the services you are rendering are highly priced, and I have got the proposal from your competitor, which is a kind of lower, and you have quoted a higher price. So, in professional terminology, we do get to know hear this. So, in negotiation, there is a when, and we all know, as a we hate to negotiate. People, the client will definitely try to take out some kind of benefit from it, and we will be not been very good, will not be in a very good mood to do that. So keeping this framework in our mind will help us to gather and to clear how to step by step enter into this negotiation deal. Let's say the very first one is prepare. Yeah, you hear me, prepare, very clear. The moment I say it's important for us to prepare, because when where we are able to close a deal in win-win manner, and we want the other side of the table should also be in the benefit. Again, we'll try to decode how well we can plan, prepare ourselves. Preparing ourselves says that it is not on that table we are discussing, or something we have to prepare there. It starts before, well before, and we have to kind of, what should be, we have to plan and prepare our mind that what will be our offer, what will be our boundary price below which we will not take the deal, and what are the variables, what are he or she is, for which you are willing to give away in the negotiation. If you have that kind of clarity with these things, you can walk into the deal. So we have to, it's very important for us to understand that it's very relevant for us to gather comprehensive data, understand the stakeholder interest, and visualize multiple potential outcomes before engagement. Because again, as I said, there should be something called boundary price below which you will not take up the project, because you are prepared in your mind that this is something which will this will protect you from going down. And again, threshold on making entering into, so that you can walk out or you can walk along with this deal or not. So it's very important uh, for leaders like us or financial professionals to prepare in advance to make sure that what all can be an outcome, potential outcomes. Excuse me. The importance of strategic orientation. Yeah, strategic orientation requires through thorough preparation before entering into negotiations involve getting reliable data on which, on the basis of understanding on the interest, underlying interest and expectations of the stakeholders, and carefully as I said, visualizing all the potential outcomes. Such advanced preparation help professional to anticipate challenges to assess the risk, and again respond with clarity, with confidence, and it ensure it ensure negotiations are conducted in disciplined and informed manner. And it will be a value driven manner, because it will support the decision making in most professional and ethical manner. Now the second part is probe. Second P. Second P, as I said, is very important for us to understand. As I said, that we have to prepare well before entering into the deal. Again, we have to probe to probe is to ask clarifying open-end questions to uncover the underlying need. What all motivated? What is the concern? What are the motivation that aren't immediately apparent? Because effective probing allows the professional to move beyond stated positions and identify the real interest, which will actually drive the negotiation. By listening carefully and seeking clarifications, one can reduce assumptions and will be in a position to address potential risk at an early stage and create a synergy, or to create solutions both at practically and mutually acceptable manner, while again being professional and being ethical. Because again, the orbit of conversation will be not to not offensive, neither it will be defensive. It has to be a mutually accepted solution should be provided. So for that, again, we need to be very clear and we need to ask questions. The third P here will be possibility. Explore creative creative win-win solutions. The moment we say negotiation, it is not that me win, you lose, because that is not a complete sense. The other person will feel disheartened. So we have to create more kind of possibility and try to explore that, which can convert in. solutions which can be a win-win for each one of us, and it can extend beyond price considerations, like to deliver mutual value. uh, the moment I say that we are trying to create the possibility, we are trying to focus on the exploring the creativity and collaborations, collaborative solutions rather, that go beyond mere price consideration. Price considerations is just one part, and again, we'll try up coming out with different kind of solutions, collaborations, which can help for help both way out. This approach encourages a professional to identify, as I said, win-wins outcomes by expanding the scope of discussion uh, to include value drivers like timelines. It can be scope of work, it can be risk allocation, it can be compliance comfort, or building long-term relationship. This possibility can convert can be a helpful can be a helpful device for us to for in a part of negotiation, because by considering multiple possibilities, negotiation became more constructive, because you are giving solutions. You're not talking on problems. You are talking about solutions. You are providing the solutions in your giving the orientations that help both the parties. It enable both the parties to achieve their objectives by while preserving the trust and again integrity and creating sustainable value. So, many of the cases you must have heard about extended warranties, giving extended warranties, or giving out some kind of freebies, or some free shipping available. These things actually give the confidence to the person, other person, that they okay. Let's say not this, we are getting this also along with this. So it comes at a combo. Uh, Again, a framework comprises of fourth P, which is propose. Proposing your proposing your work, propose clearly, present clear and data backed data offers with confidence, with your structured mind that yes, this is it, we can provide you with this. And it is essential to articulate not only the proposal itself, but also the underlying value. The moment I say it is underlying value, because the deal will be the deal will the focus of the deal will shift, and the rational professional judgment supporting it. A persuasive proposal is grounded in fact compliance requirement and commercial logics. It helped the other party to understand and comprehend the necessity and the benefits which he or which the organization will derive from the negotiation deal. So the benefits and implications, to understand the benefits and implications, you have to be you have to propose clearly. You have to propose with confidence, with balanced way of presenting yourself. To this approach strengthen your credibility. Again, it is very, the moment I say the proposing your views or thoughts or content, you are giving up, you are bringing out to the table the credibility. You are facilitating decision making, you are giving out the solutions, you are helping the negotiation to move forward in a balanced and a sustainable agreement. It is one part. Again, last last P to the framework will be partnering. We The moment we say we have a framework of negotiation, we have to understand that we are we are here to build genuine commitments for, for seamless implementation, and cultivate foundation for future collaborative opportunities as well. We are The objective is to ensure that there is a trust, the cooperation, the mutual respect is there. uh, because you are partnering, you are not just, it is not just very first time will enter into the deal and end out. You should be able to build this into a confident partnership, so that the mindset, by adopting a partnership mindset, uh, professionals have a greater chance of entering into a collaborative opportunities. And as a professionals, we all know, as a leaders, as a business entrepreneurs, or uh, deal in the moment we are into in kind of in any kind of negotiation, uh, the trust factor definitely help us to be there and create a strong foundation for our future opportunities. And the approach reinforce our sustainability, professional engagement, and it aligns with outcome, and we for the shared objectives. Those were the framework. Now we are entering into foundation. As I said, clearly setting goals, clearly preparing, setting clear goals, defining objectives. How important it is to define your objectives? Because the moment you establish your objectives, your priorities, your non negotiables, and before entering into negotiation deal, you know precisely what success looks like to you. Before entering into the deal, you are clearly defining your objectives in advance. One can avoid, again, one can avoid ambiguity. There will be no ambiguity, no confusion, no distrust, and it will prevent unnecessary concessions, and also ensure that outcomes remain aligned with a professional responsibility. The moment we are clear that this is our objective and this is our priority and this is our non-negotiable, this is something which will not enter in, and we will not do this deal. So very important concept. The best concept is to know your BATNA. Word BATNA. What is BATNA here? BATNA means understand the best alternative to the negotiated agreement. BATNA. Know your BATNA. Understand the best alternative to the negotiated agreement. This knowledge provides us confidence, clarity, and when to take up, when not to take up, when to walk out, when to sit. You are very clear. So know your BATNA. In negotiation, BATNA is something very important for us, for as a professional chartered accountant or leaders. It's important for us to know the moment you are the moment you are in a deal, you should know where and what will be the best alternative to the agreement. A clear understanding of your BATNA provides a realistic benchmark. Basically, it's a benchmark against which any proposed agreement can be evaluated. It strengthens the decision making. हमारे decision making, the decision we are about to take on that fact is so much dependent. So it strengthens the decision making. It prevents acceptance of unfavorable terms. and enhance the confidence. Obviously, the moment you are sure that this is what is the best out of it, you have a confidence during the discussion. And our professionals, as a professionals for us, a well-assessed BATNA ensure in negotiations are conducted in a position of informed judgment, safeguarding the commercial interest. We are here to enter into a mm, deal which should be which involves commercial value. So we have to in in any way we have to make sure that there is a safeguarding of that commercial value which is so imperative while maintaining professional independence. Again, professional independence is important, ethical compliance is important, and building the long term credibility. Knowing your BATNA in advance will help you to actually safeguard your commercial interest, your professional independence, and ethical compliance. Again, build your long term credibility. Next thing is research thorough. You, in any way, the moment you are into a, a negotiation deal, you have to research in advance and investigate the counterpart's needs, their history, the constraints, the motivation. As I said, the underlying factor, the interest, the want, the need, what is actually which triggers, what is something which motivates. We have to investigate the counterpart's need in advance and research it thoroughly, anticipating the moves and then prepare for our strategic responses. And the moment you know the you are anticipating the move and you are preparing your response accordingly, then there will be a clarity in the meeting. You will know, as I said, you know your BATNA, you know your objective, the clear set objective is there. You have prepared yourself well, you have gathered a lot of information, and you are here to build a partnership. It is not just one decision. You are trying here to build a genuine commitment for seamless implementation, and again to build or cultivate foundation for your future opportunities. So we should research in advance. And again, what is the history, what is it, it is important for them to actually enter into this negotiation. So you have to, as a professional leader, we have to make sure that these are our foundation stones. Yeah. Very interesting animation. I like you all to see this. Before that, I like to let you know, um, art of negotiation, as we say, or as a journey of mastering negotiation skill. Uh, Very important topic is the great interest topic is value creation through negotiation, as we have been discussing. So before we dive into that topic slide, I want you all to see this short animation video. And while looking at this video and watching the video, I want you all to reflect on how it is relevant to negotiation skills, so that we can understand the concept and it more bit. So yeah.
Jack and Jane are two chefs in a restaurant. Both want an orange to prepare their dishes. Unfortunately, there is only one orange left in the kitchen.
Look, I came here first. This orange belongs to me.
Well, I like the way you claim your right to the orange. My dish is as important as yours. You can't have it all.
Okay, then let's have a deal. We will cut it into two pieces. You take one and I take the other. Now you pick one, and I pick the other. Hope this deal works for both of us.
Both Jack and Jane went back to their stations, and started working on their dishes, while Jack used the peel to make the dish and threw rest of the orange. Jane made the juice from the orange and threw the peel. Both chefs bargained on their positions. The better solution may seem obvious to you now. Both chefs would have been better off if they had peeled the orange and had simply taken the part they needed. If they had talked about their interests, both would have benefited.
Yeah. So, as it has been talked in this animation video, the interest that has been benefiting should have been discussed. The tale of two chefs. What happened? Showcase a very beautiful and a powerful concept of negotiation. That instead of positioning bargaining, which is again distributive bargaining, as it has been showed, do interest based negotiations or integrative negotiation. Remember, interests are the underlying motivation for the position. So it is not enough to understand the position from one party is coming and what is underlying motivation in terms of interest and needs to satisfy the position and to so that it can be an easy way out to trade and create a real win-win situation in the negotiation. The moment we say value creation, the moment we say value creation through negotiation, it's just not about dividing a fixed, or it is just creating the value or expanding the pie as it is in the case. Everyone, so let's see how we can do it. Negotiations are often viewed as zero-sum game. One party win, other party loses. However, it does not. It does not should have been all the cases in all the cases, and instead, the focus of us should be in expanding the pie and creating win-win situation for both the parties who are involved in this deal. So, first step in creating value through negotiation is to identify the party's need. In this tale of two chefs, one party again was interested in the peel, the other one was in the fruit. So they never discussed. They were actually positioning their bargain. And had it been a negotiating or had it been an interest-based negotiation, it would have been an extension or expanding of the pie and would have created a win-win situation for both the parties. Again, so for let's say, for example, I'll give you an example here. If let's say if you are negotiating a salary increase, a person like as a financial increase, you might ask your prospective employer that what the moment you say that you want to negotiate your salary increase, you might see that your prospective you might start asking your prospective employer that what is the need, what what do they expect from you in order to justify the increase, and what additional responsibility you should take up to complete a certain project, or let's say within a time frame, or increasing your productivity or meeting their needs to create a value addition. Now the your employer knows that he is ready to work for extra hours, or he is ready to work for complete this assignment within due timeline, and now I should he's actually giving that portion of his work, and so I the increase in salary is actually justified. Again, one more example. As I said, in this example, there was an increase in salary. There can be different options and alternatives. So we have to, the moment we say that there is a perspective, as I said, is the possibility, exploring more possibilities, and creating an opportunity will be a option for the negotiating parties to actually yeah, we were yeah, let's see. We were on the part of discussing how how well negotiation can, how this art can actually enhance the skill. The third very important point or the concept we are bringing to the table is emotional intelligence. The moment we say that we have to be very firm, there should be a firmness, there should be a balance between a firmness and relationship intelligence. Emotional intelligence plays a very vital role uh, uh, in creating an effective negotiation. It is particularly professionally or high stake engagement involves an ability to accurately read and interpret the counterpart uh, emotions, their motivation, and as I said, underlying motives or interest and the concern. The moment you have that much of understanding in you as a as the other part of the negotiation, you will be able to respond with awareness, with clarity, with that empathy in you, and you'll be able to understand the concern, what exactly is so important to be discussed. By managing one's emotion and remaining sensitive to the professional professions, and we diffuse tension. We actually again, the very important piece, as we discussed earlier, we are partnering, so we are creating that we are creating that or building that trust, and we are in a position to facilitate a constructive communication, constructive dialogue. This heightened emotional awareness support, it strengthens the relationship, and it create unbalanced outcomes without compromising professionalism and ethical standard. As I said, this is so very imperative for us to understand this, that the moment we talk about negotiation, we have to understand that there has to be some kind of, there had to be a intelligence, that has to be emotional intelligence. We cannot act as if, as I said, it should never be that me win, you lose. It should be a win-win position for both of us. Only then the negotiation will be a happy deal. uh, we are here to build a rapport, a great genuine rapport, which will foster trust. The entire focus of us is in this webinar is to create a, and facilitate a constructive dialogue between and to help and trust and create more collaboration for each other through active listening. Now, the very important point, the very important rule is coming up: 70-30 rule. The moment I say 70-30 rule, because as I said, we are here to build a genuine rapport. We are here to demonstrate our genuine interest in this mutual success. It is not just me successful, the other person is not important. So we have to understand that there is a rule of 70 versus 30. What is this 70-30? Now we'll try to work on this. Let me see. Yeah. My PPT is visible to all, I guess. 70-30 rule. We should be able to dedicate 70% of the time or energy in understanding the need, underlying need. As I said, the powerful principle of effective negotiation is to emphasis on the importance of listening, active listening over excessive articulation. By dedicating approximately 70% of one's effort in listening and understanding the other party's perspective, uh, we know the priorities of their, we know their priorities well, we know the perspective they are coming up with, we have a professional gain, that we know the insight there is, what all is going in their mind, what exactly they want from this. So we have to be clear on that end, and this remaining 30% is the period, or is a time, is when you should speak. So in negotiation, you should balance your work in a way that there should be more of listening than of speaking. The more you'll speak, you'll be in trouble. So listen to the other person, listen to the party, listen to the concern, listen to the motivation they have, listen to the actually what are all the priorities they have. Again, the remaining time, then you should speak. Uh, and you should, this discipline will build our confidence. It will enhance the clarity, because you'll be in a, strategically you'll be in a better position to what to say and what not to say, because you have already had that great insight from the other person. Otherwise, what will happen, you will speak, and there are possibility of you speaking extra. So uh, be more thoughtful, be more mindful, uh, to be specifically when you are into negotiation deals, because the outcomes will definitely be then in your will be more of synergy to us. As we all are here, that we all understand that the successful negotiations balance assertiveness and relationship building. uh, Recognizing the counterparts requirement and giving up or coming up with possibilities and post that will be helping you to build a rapport or build a uh, partnership, to be very specific. So let's just see what all we can cover in this. Communicating with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Very important. We are here, the moment we are here in this deal, we are we have to communicate with our clear mind, again with confidence and the purpose for which we all are, which we are with the deal is about. So be specific and quantify. So present precise request, support with support by objective financial data or clear metrics. Uh, Vague proposals undermine the credibility. As I mentioned, if we'll start mentioning things which are not relevant or which is not important for this deal or this negotiation activity, so you should restrain yourself. Try to be more precise, more clear, more specific, and maintain a composure. Control your emotions. You cannot be aggressive. You cannot be very defensive. As I said, you cannot be offensive. It has to be a interest based or integrated bargain. Control your emotions, remain calm, listen and remain calm. Don't be under pressure. Don't because the moment we are under pressure, it weakens us. It weakens our judgment. It weakens our emotional reactions. Weakens our position in this deal. You will be in a weak position. So it's better to remain calm and clear, be in and also be articulate. We need to use our language, compelling language, to communicate in such a way that your value proposition and rational is uh, is in your position. You have to be articulate and leverage your body. Body language should be open. It should not be a very closed one. It should not be very tensed. It should be in confident body language. Because the more you are confident about your proposal, about your offer, about your boundary price, about your partner, uh, there is a greater possibility of the other person believing and trusting on you. They will there is a possibility of reinforcing the credibility, and this openness and genuine discussion which will create an engagement, which will create an impression in the mind that the other person is listening to me and he's ready to move. He's not, and closed personality is not giving no options for us. That is something which we have to learn. These four major points should also be taken into the consideration while entering into a negotiation deal or negotiation meeting. Yeah, we have to, as I said, the planning, the preparation, the planning should be very clear. We have to identify, as a financial leader, as a professional, as a chartered accountant, we as a professional should identify what will be the deal breakers. Identify in advance. Clearly distinguish between acceptable concessions and non-negotiable, absolutely non-negotiables before entering discussions. You going into discussion and without any clear mind is somewhat like going into the boxing ring without any help or uh, protection. So you are going to be turned into blue and black. So you have to again identify that what are negotiations, what is your negotiables items, what are variables, what are you what concessions are you okay with, and what concessions are something which is a kind of priority, and map the concessions at by priority level. Establish the clear boundary and document your limits. Limits, documentation of your limits are, yes, this is beyond this, I'll not work. This is something which is not working for our organization. As professional, this is something which is not negotiable. Again, the moment we have identified our deal breakers, we have to balance between the short and long term plans, long term trade offs. Uh, we are here to create lifetime value. Reputation is important, impact which it will give. We have to understand that we should not enter into a negotiation deal and without any without identifying our deal making, without being prepared mind, without knowing our partner, without knowing the best alternatives, and because it can actually ruin your uh, reputation in the market. You should understand that this can create a lifetime value. This impact, it's an impact. It can create an impact. It can create a positive impact on the business. So we have to evaluate and understand and the future outcomes and opportunities which this deal will bring along. Although it is not just one deal between one person or the other, there are so many multiple assignments, multiple collaboration, multiple opportunities which will come along. So we should while preparing, we should avoid arbitrary compromises. We should not make compromises which are which will actually not work out. And so we should plan our concessions, which we are ready to give out, and establish the conditional terms. If we have some condition like you'll do this, we'll do this. So the conditions which are being discussed, the terms and conditions, as we say, should be discussed, should be established well, should be document also. As I said, this is very important for us to understand that without with clarity, you can move forward in the negotiation. So also creating reciprocal expectations. Yeah. Um, Here again, very important thing: overcoming challenges, knowing when to walk out, walk away, not entering. Uh, as I said, planning, preparing your mind, positioning yourself in an integrated manner, probing, asking questions, partnering, creating that trust for mutual collaborations is very, very important. It is so important for negotiation, but we have to understand that there are challenges also, and we have to understand how to take these challenges. The very first one is to recognize the stalling pattern, the possibility of things get stalled. He's saying something, you are saying something, we are stuck, we are not ready, we are the other person is like maybe offensive or defensive, and you are defending your price, he's offending, he's saying this is not. So that condition is something which is creating a which is uh, limiting your boundary, which is not allowing you to communicate or to accommodate. So you have to understand that this will be a challenge, and what exactly should be done at that point. Identify when negotiation reaches something somewhere in the position when the counterparts consistently demand or consistently exceed reasonable limit. Again, we as a professional will always agree that there is a commercial value to the deal. We have to understand that what is acceptable. As I said, we have what is acceptable, what is not. You cannot go on giving concessions. You cannot go on just for creating value or creating trust. You cannot go on giving more extra uh, cushion. So we have to understand when there is a counterpart is demanding something which is reasonably not right, and our own capacity to, will it be possible for the company or as a professional leader or a assignment or a professional or as a finance professional or as a will it be possible for us to accommodate? We should be able to identify, we should be able to identify and recognize that there is something, the pattern is like this, that this will stuck out somewhere. So apply your partner. The best alternative is apply your partner. As I said, what is VATNA? VATNA is a best alternative for your negotiated deal agreement. The agreement will have the best alternative as per you. You already structured your mind and you know your VATNA. So you apply your you will be applying your BATNA and determine when to pause negotiation and to exit this discussion gracefully and entirely. Like, okay, done now. This is our best alternative. This is what we can offer. This is what we can provide you. And if not, this is possible for you. Let's just not stalk ourselves or there's a pattern of stalling. Let's leave it here or preserve the relationship. Don't maintain the professionalism. Again, this is a challenge, right? You cannot go beyond. You have to maintain a professionalism. You have to maintain the grace of walking out. You cannot be angry. You cannot be offensive. You cannot be uh, you cannot create something which is awkward, awkward for both the parties. You have to understand that you are a professional. There is a kind of pattern, there's a kind of respect, there's a kind of expectation in the society. And this is how, as a chartered accountant or as a professional, what should be held. And the moment you feel that there is something which is it is not working out, the deal is not working out, you have to preserve the relationship. You don't go down. You cannot disgrace the other person. You cannot uh, mm, uh, uh, you cannot ruin the reputation of the you cannot ruin the you never know, you may have to again work with that person in future. So there is a potential future collaboration opportunity also underlying. So you have to understand, okay, not possible, we'll definitely meet sometime other. It was great meeting you, thank you for this. So again, you are trying to close the deal with a very graceful manner. You'll not if the terms are unfavorable or it's something which is not working out, you cannot work it. You cannot go beyond your professionalism. You have to maintain the professionalism. You have to be graceful and walk out. Okay, and again, a very critical principle is walking out, walking away with a unfavorable negotiation is not a failure. It's a strategical discipline. You learn. The best negotiators know when to preserve resources and to pursue better alternatives. You know, you have to understand your best, your BATNA is known. You've discussed your BATNA. The counterparty is still asking for unreasonable limits, unreasonably demands are coming, and you cannot. You as a this every yes of yours will attract some kind of commercial value. Ultimately, you cannot create a loss deal, right? So you have to take the inputs from that person or the other party, and for for a sense of preserving relationship, you should know how to actually gracefully exit. we again we have to understand that our focus is to mm, our focus is to create sustainable value creation, right? We talked about value creation, we talked about positional bargaining, we talked about integrated bargaining, we talked about batna, we talked about our 5 P's, 5 techniques we should be in the framework, and how should we apply this framework, and how this skill set can be a useful technique for a chartered accountant in his professional journey in a complex structure in a landscape like India. We should understand that in any case we have we are uh, we are not here to compromise our statutory obligations. All the discussions, all the outcomes must be strictly comply with applicable laws, rules, regulations, requirements, reporting, and without exceptions and without delusion. There should be no second thought to it. Understand this very well, that we are we have to uphold ICAI code of ethics, right? Professional conduct must consistently reflect our integrity, our objectivity, our confidentiality, our due care, and ensuring that ethical standards which guide us, which are the guiding factor for a chartered accountant to pursue his professional degree or a work or in a workforce area, uh, should be there while um, while taking any decision or interaction or any kind of negotiation. It should be there as a part and parcel. Very important, because we are nation builders, right? We cannot do anything which is against statutory uh, obligation. The other person may ask anything, but we as a chartered accountant have a code of ethic, we have a parameter, we have our ethics which are clearly defined. What is right, what is not right, what is to be done, what is not to be done. So we have to reflect that integrity in our work. The work we perform should be uh, with precision, authentically done, and with the great purpose. And there should be objectivity. There should be a confidentiality clause, as we all know, due care, confidentiality, and independence. Again, these are the very basic structure. This actually is a structure of code of ethics. We cannot outcast this in any way, in any case. So independence has to be preserved, and in fact it has to be preserved at all times. Understand? Safeguarding our professional judgment, we are here to make a professional opinion. Every time we are supposed to give a professional opinion, our our standards defines things. Our auditing principles are there. Our IFRS are there. So we have to understand that there's professional judgment. We cannot take undue. We cannot do anything under undue influence, or anything which can harm our credibility in the market, which can create a distrust in the profession. Our professional requirement is that we have to understand the requirement, we have to be compassionate, there should be an empathy. As I said, it is very important. Relationship intelligence, the moment we talk about relationship intelligence, this is the concept itself is very clear, that there is a need, there's a strong need to actually uh, in Yeah, I'm so sorry for the internet issues. I don't know. There's some kind of wires which are reinstalled, getting reinstalled at our area. So for that reason, maybe there's a power cut. Anyways, technical glitches are something which you cannot control, and we cannot negotiate on that end. Anyways, we were on the yeah. As I said, the moment we were we were discussing that there is some kind of professional ethic, there's some kind of credibility, there's a big credibility which is attached to our chartered accountant, which as a chartered accountant there's a lot of credibility attached to us, so we cannot go anything beyond that. And we have to make sure that there's been no compromise at statutory obligation, and we always uphold our ICAI code of ethic and professional independence, as we say, is again a core for any kind of assignment or a project we undertake. We are supposed to keep that independence. Is a fact that we should be preserved all the time. Yeah. So this is a kind of scenario. Let's just see this slide. Here, in this case, we can see that professional firm is negotiating audit fee with a cooperative society facing kind of losses, or you can say a financial constraint. And the moment they are saying this, and we as a chartered accountant, a professional assignment, this is a professional assignment for us, what all we can say and how we should apply this whole concept. Instead of conceding a flat fee reduction, the auditor can present a cost benefit, highlighting the risk exposure due to the increased regulatory scrutiny. The moment we are letting the party know that there is a lot of scrutiny, there's a lot of search, there's a lot of notices which are coming, there's additional audit procedures which are required for the compliances, and there's a potential penalties which can be avoided through a robust audit. The moment we highlighted these factors, we are justifying our fee increase, right? Or the type or the price bracket or the audit fees uh, we should have certain kind of expertise to actually take that ahead. Yeah, we were on this slide. Yeah, the fee structure, as we said, should be revised in a phased or modular manner, aligning the professional conduct, and again preserving both sides. We understand the cooperative society facing professional or financial constraint. Every finance is something which is always limiting in the company. It's never adequate. And when it comes to pay CA or any way professional, there's always a second thought. So yeah, by using your financial knowledge, you can highlight the points and get your fees done. So yes, we are on the side of mastering negotiations. We have to integrate, as I said, we have to integrate uh, both financial expertise and emotional intelligence or relationship intelligence to create a holistic negotiation strategies. It should be a win-win situation. It should be a synergy. It should not be me with you lose. So, as we have already discussed, how important it is to know the other side's need, how important it is for us to know and prepare ourselves in advance. And the moment we combine our financial literacy, financial expertise with the emotional intelligence and relationship intelligence, we are obviously on a better hand. Again, we have to embrace the structure framework, as we said, as we discussed the framework, which comprises of 5 P's also. So we have to understand that there should be a purpose, there should be a proof, there should be a specific preparation, planning. Basically, the very important integral part is planning. Planning, preparing your work much in advance to have a confident communication, strategic decision. And again, we should be able to think beyond transactions, recognizing negotiations as a strategical tools for creating long lasting and organizational value and competitive advantage. It is not just one deal. There are many multiple options which are uh, lined out. So we have to understand. And again, we can only do that the moment we are able to think beyond our transaction. If you'll see in this transaction, then probably you will not make it make it to your make it as a long lasting partnering relationship. So we should recognize that this negotiation can take us to future collaborations also. For that reason, uh, we have to be more compassionate and more understanding on that end. And again, there is a need to commit to for the consistent development. Begin prepare today to transform your negotiation outcomes and amplify your leadership impact across the organization. This happens with there's a again, as I said, perfection is something which we all are we all want, and it is you know, the more we practice, we are more near to it. So, if you want to be a perfect leader or mastering your negotiation art or skill, there's something you have to understand that there is a certain kind of framework. There's a rule of 70/30, which we discussed earlier also in the slide, which will be helpful for us to understand the insights or the need of the other person. Yeah. We discussed this earlier in this point, that we have to again never compromise, never uh, make or deal anywhere which is something which is against our professional ethics, and remain professional, because this again, and very relevant thing is that we have to document everything. Future disputes can also arise. So there's a concept of the moment everything is being decided, you have to closure. The closure should be documented. The closure of the negotiation deal should be clearly defining your terms to avoid ambiguity. I mean, this is not discussed. This was never discussed. You never told this. So there should not be any kind of future dispute, which is so very possible. And here, one very important thing which has been left, I would like, I guess I due to that. Yeah. So the moment we were discussing about our pointers, our challenges, there's one very important thing. It may happen, as I said, it may happen that there is a stalling pattern, and the BATNA is not acceptable. You are saying this, you are applying the BATNA, and still there is no outcome coming, and mm, the other person is not ready. Then, as we discussed, that there should be a relationship e- equality. There should be a relationship intelligence in us, and we for sure will be in a better position if we are having that much of confidence, clarity, confidence in ourselves that it's okay, not problem, not problem. We discussed. You said these here, and the rule of 70/30 was also followed. Be it the planning part has been done. The exploring the possibilities, as we discussed. There's a greater possibilities which should be included while negotiation was also been taken care of. And still the deals are not deal is not as deal is not getting done. So we have to understand that there is a kind of professional pointers which can act as a challenge. So we have to understand and accept and take it as it is. So these frameworks, these basic frameworks, which is so so much of immensely required in our professional journey, in every day-to-day work. It is not just like even if we'll talk about value creation. Negotiation is not just dividing the fixed portion, as we saw this animation. We saw that there is a division, or say it was. So the, the pointers will stay that we are here to create more possibility and expanding the pie. The concept of expanding the pie, as we saw in this slide, on that slide, that there is a division. That was what we say is a positional bargaining. One was having one part, and the other was having the other part. It could have been an integrated interest based, as we discussed, but it was not so. The moment you discuss your interest, the moment you detail your interest, there is a greater possibility of you to get a better advantage and expanding the pie. Share of pie, getting the better share of pie is what we all, the moment we enter into a communicate in a negotiation, uh, we always want to win, right? Who will be the person who will say, okay, we are ready to give away? No, we should be able to understand that there has to be something which we are going to give away. There should be a some kind of quote price. There has to be some kind of monetary price. But the important concept is that we have to understand that is this the only option, or there can be a multiple options also, or if there are multiple options, what should be they, and how should we discuss them, and again trying to create more value, and as I said, expanding the pie, the share of pie. The moment we have a thought process which is not just to have our own share. It is just to the intent, the intent behind is to expand the pie and to make it more uh, workable, more feasible, more technically viable for both the parties. This is what we say is value creation. Through our financial leverage, we can always create more value, create value to the negotiation deals. And otherwise, what will happen? The people will always think it is a zero sum game. One gain, zero to the other person. This is what people do expect. But the moment we, as a chartered accountant, use our financial expertise, as we see in this slide. Yeah, this was professional fees, so big, so important for us, and it does happen with us, right? And I'm sure as a professional, you all will agree to this, because there are certain cases where you feel that there is there's a need there's a need to increase, but the party is not accepting. For that reason, leverage your financial expertise. Leverage your financial expertise in such a way so that you'll be able to and make the other person, the other party, understand that there is a greater uh, uh, advantage on both the sides. Normally, what happen whenever we talk about discussion or negotiation, we have it is, there's a greater possibility of one person getting offended or saying, no, no, he didn't agree to my terms. But the moment we are integrating, as we discussed in this slide, we are integrating the bargain, we are pushing the whole, we are articulating the entire concept in such a way that there's an understanding, there's an advantage to the other party also. Expanding the pie will definitely help the help the party uh, make their possibility or outcome in such a way to create an opportunity or create this outcome in such a way which will be a win-win position. Again, you must have heard me multiple times saying that there should be a win-win position. Win-win position is something when the other side is also at loss and you are also gaining, and that is the best one. So yeah, last, as I said, was development and motivation. Why did I mention for terms and conditions? Very important. Clearly mentioning, clearly speaking, documenting your discussions, documenting your outcome will make it very precise, make the negotiation deal all fine. Last closure is coming. So whether it has to be precise, there should be no ambiguity. You discuss your point, discuss your challenge, discuss your best part of you, best in how framework, what all framework should be applied. And now, if it is done, it is done. You have agreed to the terms. Now now the right time is to document it. Clear documentation will ensure responsibility. Responsibility for the terms and conditions which you have undertaken, deliverables. It can be timelines. You can ask, you can have finalized after a kind of 2 hours, 1 hour of discussion and negotiation, that this will be the timeline. This will be the final timeline. But it should be well documented, so that there should be a clearly, and that should be communicated also. Now you thinking something else, another person is not being told, so there will be an ambiguity, there will be a misunderstanding that can create rather distress, disharmony, discord. So the expectations should be fully understood by all the parties, and minimizing the risk of misunderstanding, to be very specifically. Understanding the concepts, understanding the requirement of the other person, and documenting, so that there should be a clear communication that this is what it is and how we will work it. And also it reinforces the accountability, um, and but also it uphold the transparency, and strengthen the legal compliances also, because any deal, any document, any kind of discussion we are in negotiations, it has to be uh, this engagement is professional, right? And there's a lot of expectation in the market, and as I said, there's a credibility attached to it. So we have to understand, explore the ideas, do the lot of planning part, and probe more questions, uh, plan your work, come out with more possibilities, and try to build that relationship intelligence in you, so that there will be a win-win situation. It should not be something which should be, it should not be something which should we should not be something which should disgrace your our reputation in the market, not hurt our credibility. You should be professional. Professionalism should be maintained throughout the discussion frame time. And it is, as we say, it's a powerful tool. You all understand negotiation. At the end of the time, I would like to mm, conclude by saying that professional ethics, especially ethics, ethically designed negotiation is a powerful tool. As a professional, it's a skill set which will help and strengthen our working style, and it creates a lot of market value. So yes, and yeah, and this is how uh, put the negotiation to the closure, right? On the closure, we have to document, and then we are accountable. We have made this terms and conditions. Now these terms and conditions are our responsibility, our deliverables, be it timelines or expectations, and we have to fulfill that expectations. So to reinforce that accountability and uphold that transparency and creating value, we as a chartered accountant should make sure that while entering into any kind of business deal or investment portfolio deal or loan sanction or something like that, or any kind of professional negotiation deal, make sure you plan and give it a comprehensive study before entering into it, and prepare your work well. And hereby, almost, yes, this is the last slide. Yeah, we discussed professional ethics, and so yeah, as we get, I am. So this is it. As we close the webinar for PSEC ICAI Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, I extend my sincere thanks to each one of you for your valuable time, attentive mindset, and participation through this discussion or this webinar. I trust that the concepts and the framework which I discussed and which we shared on this webinar will provide you with more meaningful clarity on how to negotiate and how to take up to approach the negotiation in more structure and um, it's, as I said, it's a powerful professional tool rather than just a technical exercise. And I trust the insights that I shared today has reinforced the importance of using the structure and value driven negotiation for as a financial leaders, as a chartered accountant. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, in the end, I would like to once again thank this wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful deliberation. I believe that the members must be highly enriched in their negotiation skills after getting valuable inputs from you. We have got some queries from the attendees,
Yeah.
and I would like to put them forward in front of you. The first one is, can you suggest any good books that are useful and helpful in learning to be a better leader and sustain the same?
Yeah, I will suggest the leader to kindly read the unlock value, which is available with the ICI. So unlock value is something which I have also read, and I've also taken the inputs from. So I think that is one good book which you can read. Unlocking
Okay.
value.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question is, uh, how to do this for a CA employed in banking industry?
Banking side, like employed as a employee, or
Yeah, I also think so. The question is very brief, but I think they're asking from employee point of view only.
and you wanna rise in your salary, something like that, banking,
Uh,
or kind of get a better kind of rate of interest.
I think it's
Exactly.
in general for any chartered accountant who is employed in banking
Employed
industry.
in banking. Okay, banking. So if you're employed in a banking industry, again, you know the constraint banking deals with finances. So there's no point of you not knowing that. So as a professional, as a finance professional, you can always take up your case and say that as a chartered accountant, I'm serving this. And if let's say I'm a credit manager here, and I'm you can ask what all other kind of responsibility you want me to take up for this kind of price hike. You can ask and you can bargain on that end. You can ask your you can give out your options and then see, propose your work and then see what is their answer. They probably will say definitely take up this also. And you know, banking is always a lot of work there. So you can get a good hike if you want for a professional hike or salary hike there. Yeah.
Correct. Uh, I think you have taken care of the next question as well in this only. The next question was how to negotiate with an employer. So I
Uh,
think it is more or less covered in this answer itself.
yeah, almost similar.
Yeah,
Again, try to work out in advance. As I said, preparation is the key. The more you'll be prepared, the more you will be prepared in your advance, you'll be in a better way. And again, 70-30 rule, as I said in the presentation also. 70-30 is what is their expectation. Let them speak and then ask. So you'll be in a better position to place yourself. So try to work on out, and then BATNA is always there. Yeah.
correct. And one last question, ma'am. When an assignment is priced on fixed price, but
Mhm.
scope of work changes, or there is more effort due to incomplete inputs earlier
Mhm.
at negotiation stage, how
Mhm.
does one negotiate a change request to increase the fees? Can you support an approach?
I totally agree. There is multiple cases, and we have seen this because the terms which were discussed in the negotiation was different, and the scope has increased. Now the work you are supposed to do is more, and you should be able to justify your work, and definitely you should be able to justify the party that look. The discussed part was this much, and for that the proportion was different. Now because the scope has changed, and I totally agree that there should be an voice for this, because the moment management or the party changes the scope, they should understand that the person is also a chartered accountant, they are also a professional, they have a certain kind of expectations. So they are also putting a lot of work, they're putting a lot of effort while doing this. So the remuneration or the professional fees which was decided should be definitely increased, and we should go for it.
Thank you, ma'am. I believe that the queries have been answered very aptly, and the persons who have raised the query must be satisfied with the answers.
I
Moving
hope so.
forward, I would like to propose the vote of thanks for today's session. It has been such an honor to be part of this wonderful webcast on the topic creating value through effective negotiation, a leadership skill set for today's chartered accountant, organized by the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee (ICAI). On behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker CA Maninder Kaur ma'am for her enlightening session. A wide round of applause and thanks to the organizer, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, our today's speaker, CA Maninder Kaur, and other stakeholders who made the webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all of you present over here and helping us make this webcast a grand success. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, sir.